MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And good morning from Scotty Ray and Candace as we begin your Tuesday morning. How are you feeling?
I'm tired.
Tired? What's been
tired.
going on?
Got a sick child.
Oh.
So I've been up most of the night for the past couple of nights, but last night was rough.
Got to you.
Yeah, rough. This little caffeine is the only thing keeping me functioning today.
Well, I hope you recover because it's tough. And, you know, it's a mom thing.
It is.
Only mom really knows how to fix those things.
He said, "Mom, you're like a nurse." He said, "Well, you're kind of like a nurse. You know how to do things like a nurse." I was just sitting there rubbing his head, trying to get him to go back to sleep, you know. But
I may try that tonight and see if somebody rub my head. I bet I come up short tomorrow morning.
Oh, goodness.
Good morning to everyone. We're so glad to see y'all up and stirring today. Now, let me remind you, we got some fake weather going on. Like, yeah, fake news is fake weather.
It rained on me on the way over here.
We got a 50% chance of that today. We will only have a high of about 49 degrees today. And by Friday, it's going to be right at 80. Gosh. So one drastic for another. And if you look at what I covered this morning on the weather, we've got a heat wave coming. Let me pull this up just so you'll kind of see what makes sense here about all of this as it makes its way across the United States. It's a little different as we pull this up. This is a heat wave that's made its way from California, currently over Texas, making its way toward Mississippi, and it will be hot.
90 to 100 in that center area right there in the
Yep.
States. That is crazy.
And as we look at this, as we get to Friday, 78 is what's predicted. Now, it could make it to 80, but 78 is what they're saying. 49, look at that. And then tomorrow, a little bit more, and it just kind of seesaws back and forth. Sunday, we may see some 57-degree weather. And what does that tell you? Everybody's going to get sick.
Right. I was just going to say, so if you get the sniffles and you're doing all this sickness stuff, we know why.
Yeah.
The weather can't make its mind up.
My mother has got a cold, and she ain't seen nobody.
Have you ever heard the little saying, only in the South can you, like, wear flip-flops one day, boots the next?
Right.
You know, you have all the different seasons all in 1 month.
It does happen. We urge you to dress appropriately. Like yesterday morning, we were running air conditioner in the studio. This morning, I've been running a small heater over here to keep my little low-blooded self warm.
It was cold in my house this morning when I got up.
Is that what you call it when after they give you that medication that thins your blood? What do you call it when you're just cold all the time?
It's cold.
Yeah, well, I'm cold all the time now.
No, but I know what you're talking about. I stay cold. I got a little nest back here. I'm sorry.
Nest?
Have to fix that.
Nest.
I'm surprised I even had my hair brushed this morning.
Look,
Seriously.
I think everybody understands the mama thing because that does happen. Now, tragedy strikes again last night. At first, we were getting reports that this could be a home invasion or an apartment invasion robbery. Well, it turns out that's not what happened last night in Meridian. As we go to, and let's pull up the map here so you can take a look at this of what went on last night as I pull this up. This is what happened. We had a police officer that got off work. He was headed home. He was staying here. And he goes to walk in, and some suspicious people, he sees them. And he thinks they have just robbed somebody's apartment.
Right.
And they start circling him. He pulls out his gun, tells them
He's a police officer.
Yeah, he'd just gotten off work. And he says, get on the ground. Well, one of them does comply. Well, as it turns out, his suspicions were right. They had just robbed someone, and they had stabbed the man 3 times.
Oh, my goodness.
In the neck, the back, and the stomach. He held them until other cops arrived and took them all into custody. With not all of them. They got 2. One is still at large. So a robbery, we don't know the details of what went wrong. Did he not comply to them? But they did stab him.
Right.
They are on the trail trying to catch the other guy. They've got 2, so that's a good lead. They know probably who they're looking at. Now, we do not know the condition of the man that was stabbed, of what his condition is. We just know that he made it to the hospital and was okay at that point. We don't know whether it's life-threatening or anything like that.
So Eastgate?
Eastgate
Apartments. Now, there's 2 sets of apartments. Is that the ones without the gate, or
All I know
there's
is
one that's gated.
It's behind, you go up Highway 39, and it's going to sit behind the new Walmart. Is that the same location? I could look up the
know.
exact location.
There's two sets. One is like you kind of go down into an area, down a little hill.
3500 Highway 19 North is the actual address of that. I didn't realize there were two.
I was just wondering if it was the gated. How did they get in? And I just had a little question.
They could have lived there.
Right.
I don't.
Who
but
knows?
I'd have to drive over and take a look to see which. Right. But that's the address 3500.
Okay. Well, I'm
did that answer you?
Yeah, I was just wondering that. I knew there was one that was gated, and I was kind of wondering how they would have gotten in there. But
we do hope this man recovers. We don't know anything more than that at this point. The police were giving us as much information as they could last night.
Maybe the two that they've detained will talk.
Right. And maybe somebody knows this. Tell me who to get in touch to, because I have tried for the last 3 days to get in touch with somebody with Meridian Public Schools. I've gotten report after report of things that are going on at the high school, and I would like an explanation, but I cannot get anybody to return my phone calls. Does anybody have a number to someone? The person that is listed as the spokesperson will not return my phone call.
Okay.
Just not doing it.
Yeah.
Is there a superintendent? Is there a... the school board, anybody got a number to somebody?
Yeah.
If you do, please inbox me so I can ask, because things like this need to be brought to light, and I don't want to report something that is not true, so you have to go to the source. But I give up on trying the legitimate way of through a number. I'm not getting it.
Right.
Legitimate's not the word, but I'll leave in phone calls and not getting answers. Mm-hmm. So if you could help me out on that. Another thing that is in Meridian, and let's talk about this a second. Y'all seen me report about Naked Man.
Yes.
This has been kind of ongoing now for...
Nude dude.
Nude dude.
I like nude dude better, I think.
Naked Man. It just sounds just catchy. Nude dude, naked man.
Yeah.
But he's been running around pretty much not harming anybody, just buck naked, enjoying himself, getting the breeze. It's getting to a point now where this has taken a turn in another direction.
Right. A lot more inappropriate than just walking around.
Yes. And parents are getting to the point to where they're not going to put up with it and might take matters into their own hands, if you know what I'm hinting at.
Yes.
So be advised, if you see this, call police, report this in the Meridian area, because it is. He seems to slip away every time the cops get there. He'll go behind a building, run, hide.
Well, obviously, this has been going on a lot longer than what we know, because or what we've seen lately. Because I know about about a year ago, maybe there was a business in North Hills that he was standing outside the window of the business in just broad daylight in front of everybody. Yeah.
In front of God and everybody, as they say.
In front of God and everybody. That's right.
Doing what we were hinting at just a moment ago.
Being very inappropriate. And so I think they hit the window and told him to leave or get out of here. They were calling the cops or something, and he left. But it's been going on a while, and I don't know what would cause somebody. I mean, I don't know anybody in their right mind that possibly
We're sure
would
that
do
there's
something like that.
Something wrong.
Right.
We don't know what, but whether there's something right, there's something wrong. He can't do what he's doing. Y'all understand?
Right. Yeah. He needs.
One of the times that I posted that, somebody said, "Oh, you're trying to make somebody look bad." No, I'm not. I'm trying to protect you and your kids. You need to know these things, and if other places don't tell you it's going on, you don't know about it. And so we will continue.
Because, instability is not a good thing. And if somebody's doing something like that, who knows what else they would do. So,
correct.
Anyway.
Protect yourself and call police. Get it on your phone if you see such as that.
Yes.
That's one of the things. Boy, we had an accident last night in Clark County. I'm not sure if everybody's aware of this, but this happened on County Road 280 in the westbound lane near County Road 291. There's supposed to be a space there, but an 18-wheeler hit the guardrail and flipped, and there was lumber everywhere, 2x6 by 16-inch lumber on the highway, in the creek, everywhere that you can imagine.
Goodness.
Now, the driver was okay.
Thank goodness.
But that's probably, $3-4 million worth of lumber?
Yeah.
And I joke about that, but that is a lot of money.
You better gather that up real quick and get it back on the truck. Get back on a trailer somewhere. Somebody will help themselves. Goodness.
So,
I'm glad he's okay.
Yeah, it's a miracle. We don't know what caused it. If he looked away, anything can cause. I've even run off.
Well, what if a deer ran out in front of you? You don't ever know.
I've had a back tire just barely run off the edge of the road and it jerk a car. Y'all been there.
Right.
Anything can happen. A truck's bigger, but numerous things happen like that.
Yes.
We had a wreck yesterday on I-20. I think everybody was okay. Lost control during that rain. And then another thing that went on yesterday, and you have to say kudos to the folks that caught this. Out in Southeast area, y'all just don't put up with no nonsense, do you? As we pull up this, a suspect was caught breaking into a car yesterday, and the homeowner, and I assume it's the homeowner, videoed the entire thing. Chief Deputy Ward Calhoun confirmed that Bobby Bearden has been charged with auto burglary and has a $25,000 bond. Caught in the act, as I said, as a witness, watched him do it, and they taped it on their cell phone. They stayed on the phone with 911 until the cops arrived. The sheriff's department were on the scene, was captured without incident, which is good. But again, let's just say it's that Christmas season when things get broken into a little bit more. So keep all eyes open.
Yes.
And if your family budget can afford that little extra on those security cameras, install that. Because it's a good thing to have.
It is a good thing to have. I know a couple of people that have them, and they record everything. You know, if somebody comes in front of it, it records everything.
Also, if someone is sneaking Christmas gifts in the house that you're not aware of, you can go back and watch the footage. Let's just call it the way it really is.
Yeah.
You can see what she's doing. It won't be none of this, Lucy.
Yeah.
Oh, I've had it forever.
Oh, I know.
It is changing the world.
Goodness.
Oh, let's see here.
I bet that is bad, like for some wives that try to
yeah.
sneak stuff in.
A guy just leave it in his truck. Who's going to look in his truck?
Yeah. The UPS man comes like 10 times a day. Where'd all these boxes come from? I don't know.
That does happen. It does happen. Let's see here. That's sort of a rundown of what's gone on in the community over the last 24 hours as we look at the big picture of things. Oh, yeah, there's other things that went on. But that's some of the highlights of the big stories that happened that will affect you and your world. We want you to know about these things.
Yes. Yes, I mean, we do. We want you to know about them.
Nancy Harris watching from the southeast area there. How y'all? Where y'all don't put up with nothing out there.
People like being informed. I mean, you know.
They do. And, you know, this is
so
sort
many
of
things you don't hear about. Just like somebody said, you know, we don't hear about everything.
That's correct.
You know?
But when was that? A couple of months back out in the southeast, was it Camp Bonacci? Somebody had went for a run and come back. They were breaking in the car, and they whipped out their gun, and they held them to the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department got there. I'm telling you, southeast is, they draw a line in the sand. You
They don't play.
You ain't messing with us. So kudos to the southeast area for catching criminals, and we want to see more.
Wow. Yeah,
people
everybody needs to
stopping
be
it.
like that.
Yeah, because it can turn serial in a minute, as they used to say back in Scuba Town. All about it.
Well, people are getting sick of all this mess.
They are.
You know, and I said a long time ago, people are going to start taking. I mean, it's not I don't want anybody to get hurt or anything
Correct.
like that, but. You know, it comes a time when you just like sick and tired of being sick and tired.
And I'll jump to this headline that I had lined up for later on because it so fits with what we're talking about. Portland, Oregon, we all know where that is. We've seen the riots and all of this. They defunded the police. Do you know what the police told the citizens yesterday?
What?
Don't call us. We might call you. If you've got something going on, don't worry about calling unless it's a huge, like, murder. Otherwise, we can't come help you. There ain't enough of us to come do anything. Now, what do you think's going to happen? I don't know if the regular citizens in that area protect themselves like they do in the deep South.
Well, that's
It'd be a
like
different
saying to
story
a
here.
child, it's just a little lie. You know?
Yeah.
But little lies become bigger lies.
Well, what does that
little
tell
crimes become bigger crimes.
these criminals that heard that message?
Yeah.
They go, I can just go take what I want now.
Yeah.
Because who's going to come? Nobody.
Yeah, there needs to be harsher punishment. I can't even talk punishment. Harsher punishment. There needs to be harsher punishment. It does.
There's no line drawn there in Portland, Oregon. So if you're living there watching us from that area of the United States, we feel for you. We really do.
Yes.
as we see news stories to where people are moving to areas to where people like-minded think like they do, that's been a huge push in America. As people plummet from California where they're sick of the laws, they move to Texas. There's even people moving to Mississippi, believe it or not. I'm telling y'all, there are.
There's people that move to Florida from different areas too,
Correct.
because they know that, DeSantis has a lot more of a hold on,
Sure does.
standing up for the laws and everything there. But it's just a mess everywhere around our nation right now.
Oregon, we'd like to point out, they got issues there. As we turn to the Lauderdale County Farm Supply, you're going to find them. Why? Well, they're there today. They got up at 7:30 and had the door open with all the lights on, just in case you needed some feed, seed, or anything like that bright and early.
That's right.
Can't have no cows hungry is what they say.
Right. And if you're looking for decorations for Christmas, well, they got it.
Oh,
They've got a little bit of everything, ribbon, ornaments for your tree. They even have candles. And this Glamour wash that's on the top shelf right there, that's the best stuff.
That stuff right there?
I think Angie uses that. I use that.
Oh,
it
is that
smells
that
so good.
stuff?
Yes.
That I might have accidentally dumped the whole thing?
Oh, I bet she gasped.
She didn't. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, it's really good, though. But they carry it.
I know now. I found out a lot on that. Yeah. If you're needing a T-shirt, they got a whole new line of T-shirts and pants and jeans. And as you look the area there, hats, if you're looking for it, there's nothing quite like having a good wearing ball cap when you're working on something.
That's right.
Those that don't fit right, well, they got the good ones there. Go by and see them. And if you need a new set of jeans, they got that George Strait design there. Go by and try them on. They'll let you do that. Boots, and if you need to shine up your boots, make them weatherproof, waterproof, however you want to word that, they got that also. It's one place. It's the Farm Supply, from Rice Brand to Deer Cocaine, to get them all hooked on that where they'll come back and hang out with you in the afternoon, to Deer Cameras. They are Deer Central right there for you. From dog food, pet supplies, corn, look at that, all of that. The Lauderdale County Farm Supply, one location, guns, ammo, scopes. You can protect yourself from there. The Lauderdale County Farm Supply.
I was injured on my job, and I applied for Social Security, but I got denied.
I thought that money belonged to me if I got hurt on the job. I just want to know how to get my money.
I'm attorney Richard Schwartz. Let me go to work for you and get the money you deserve.
Richard Schwartz cut through all that red tape, and now I'm approved and getting my benefits.
Call me, Richard Schwartz, and get the answers you need and the compensation you deserve. We know the law and we know how to help you.
Do you remember the gentleman that the state of Mississippi executed, was it a week or two ago? He had committed the crime in 10. It was the first execution in the state of Mississippi since 2012. His dying words, he left a letter. It was assumed that he had something to do with the disappearance of a sister-in-law. In the letter, he says that he did murder her, left details of where the body is. Investigators are on this. They don't know whether to believe it yet until they get there and bring in investigators and people that do that type of thing to look for bodies. We'll find out. He was a bad man.
Oh, yeah.
And that should not, in my opinion, taken since 2010 to 2021 to settle the score. I think that's too long.
Yeah.
Who else agrees with that?
Yeah. I mean, and did they suspect him of doing it, you said?
Yes. They just couldn't prove it. They had nothing that put him to it. And then he does leave the letter in the end saying, yeah, I did that.
Oh, goodness.
There's some bad people out there. Good morning to, who is this watching? Betsy, all the way from Sugar Lock, Mississippi. And for the folks that are watching us from other parts of the nation, it is not spelled Sugar Lock, Sugar. You would think that. Yeah, it's an Indian name. And if you look at it, you can't pronounce it.
It's spelled like Shuqualak, right?
It's something like that.
Yeah.
Shuqualak. Yeah, they don't teach that in English class. You got to be born there to know that. It's always been interesting as others come to town and try to do weather, and they get up on places like Wahalik and Sugarlock and
Yeah, they do have some odd names.
That's Mississippi, but so proud to be from those areas there. And did we say thank y'all for watching? We appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
We got some good mornings to say there.
Charlene Etheridge, good morning to you. She was talking about the Glamour wash. It's the best wash. It is. Y'all need to try it if you hadn't tried it.
So that is the smelly stuff.
It smells really good.
Well, see, she took that big bottle and she put it in this glass container with a push button thing on it and then I sort of got something hung on the lid and it just all in the floor.
Well, yeah, and it's not cheap stuff. But I tell you what I do to make mine last a little bit longer if y'all use the
Add
Glamour
water
Wash.
to it?
No. I put the fabric softener thing in the center. I got this tip from a friend of mine. I put regular washing detergent in the clothes to wash them, the cheaper kind. And then I put just a little bit in the fabric softener thing. So when it spins in the rinse cycle,
Right.
it spins onto the clothes and then it rinses it off, but it still leaves the smell. It lasts so much longer.
Let me break this down, what Candace just really said to you.
The women know what I'm talking about.
It's like
Men that don't wash clothes, you don't know.
It's like inviting someone over to your house and say, hey, would you like a Coke? And they go, sure. And you go in the kitchen and you pour that much Coca-Cola and then you take an RC Cola and top it off. That's exactly what she just described.
Well, I like to make mine last longer because it, look, be honest. People buy it for the smell.
Let me tell you, when you spill it, it really has a smell that will not go away.
It's strong. It's really good. Different scents, there's a diva and a high maintenance.
Anybody else ever smelt those scents of it's something and you don't know what, and then it's on your shoe and you realize what it is.
Yeah.
And you go, whoa, you doggy.
It smells better than what you're talking about, I think.
Priscilla Jackson watching all the way from Tupelo, Mississippi.
Yes.
Say hello to my friend Jim Wade if you're in the Tupelo area. What a fine fella.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, him and Ron Woodruff.
Veronica Cheney, good morning to you. And Bill Reinhart, good morning.
Hope y'all are doing well there. Let's see here. Hawaii. We saw this in the news last week about Hawaii snowstorm, and you don't picture Higgins in his shorts trying to fight snow. But today it's under a state of an emergency as they had the storm roll through yesterday. There's more rain today, and they are expecting flooding all throughout Hawaii. And today being December the 7th, that's a special day. So we keep Hawaii in our thoughts today as they deal with this. It's not something they have every day.
Yeah. It's just crazy weather everywhere.
It is.
It's kind of unstable.
I mentioned this in an hour. They're going to be shutting this down. If you're in the Hattiesburg area watching us, the ramp to get on I-59 from 49 is going to be closed at 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. They're letting the rush hour. They got to do some repairs to some guardrail or something like that. So a delay for you there.
So take an alternate route.
Yeah. So what do you say, route or route?
I usually say route.
I do too.
But I guess the term would be called route.
Because they, what was that famous highway? They called it Route 66 instead of Route 66. For whatever, it must have been a Yankee name that. Had to be.
Well, I say route.
Yeah, I'm routing with you. I don't know.
It's a Southern thing.
And of course, the RR on anything, y'all make no mistake, that's the rural route. Is what that stands for. I want to make sure that we're all clear on the same subject there. Let's see some other headlines this morning that are going on. This is a breaking news in the state of Mississippi as we have 7 Ole Miss fraternity brothers have been arrested. And you go, well, why would they be arrested? Well, they had a guy that was in the fraternity with them. He turned them in for hazing. And they commenced to, after that, sending him email and harassing him over and over and again. And they've all been arrested for cyberbullying. The fraternity was put on suspension in November at Ole Miss.
I wonder what they'll
really do
about it. Because I know there was an incident one time with one of my kids, my daughter, and it was cyberbullying. I mean, it was plainly, to me, considered cyberbullying, and I ended up calling the
Better
Attorney
Business Bureau.
General, I think, of Mississippi. I ended up calling and trying to find out what could be done about it because I knew there was a law against it.
Well, Melania tried to do something about that, and she wasn't helped a whole lot as she was the first lady of the United States. That was a big policy of hers.
Well, I was told that unless they are threatening their life or threatening bodily harm, there's not really anything they can do about it. So
if somebody sends you a text says you're ugly and you know it, clap your hands, then you just got to live with it.
Suck it up, I guess. Yeah, but yeah, to me, bullying is any kind of negativity that you're like, if you're saying things to somebody online that the world can see, and you could be running their name in the ground. You could be just,
We did not get a copy of the emails or anything that these boys did, but they posted a $5,000 bond to get out, and they'll be headed to court. And it's scheduled for February 22nd is when they'll face the jury, so to speak. We'll find out how that turns out. Serious stuff there.
Yeah, it is.
Because that becomes bigger if you get away with it when you're young. You go to work at a company, next thing you know, you start bullying people that work for you.
Yeah.
Shame on you. And that's another thing. We report a lot of crimes of people that go steal things and break into. But there's another crime in America that goes really under the radar, and it's white-collar crimes. Mm-hmm. And when I say white-collar crimes, it's the upper echelon that are in companies that break the law that, well, no one's there to police it. No one sees it. But it does exist. It is out there, people. Mm-hmm. And whenever we can get our hands on it, we'll tell you the truth on that also.
Right.
It does exist. Just because you're in a higher position over someone does not make you judge and jury to do that to other people. As we said, we'll report it when we can there.
Yes.
Do you remember the guy yesterday that fired 900 people?
Oh, yeah. I had him on a Zoom call and had 900 people. How do you get 900 people on a Zoom call?
Sent out that little email that goes, join us this call live.
Yeah. And so they're thinking they're just having a company meeting online.
And he goes, hey, if you're watching this, you ain't with me no more.
You don't have a job anymore.
So it kind of made the media mad, and people started digging into the CEO's past. It seems that he got mad at his partner not all that long ago and told him that he was going to staple him to a wall and burn the building down.
Yeah, burn him alive, it says.
So
that would be a threat.
Yeah, I would think so. So not as all great in his company. He's not the straight-laced guy there that they tried to pretend he was to begin with.
I'm thinking he might get some kind of ugly Christmas cards this year. What you think?
I think so. Mm-hmm. I do remember as a kid somebody telling someone, and I was standing there and I thought, boy, that was just downright mean what you just said. They told them they were going to tie them to a tree and put peanut butter on them and let the ants get them. I said,
gosh.
Now that's just mean.
That's awful.
But I did hear that as a kid. Whew, the things that are said. Breaking news on this. This guy is a heavyweight in Washington, D.C., and is turning in his resignation. I'll let you tell why he's doing that.
Yeah, he's turning in his resignation from Congress because he's going to become a CEO of Trump's new social media platform. And, it's really weird. I told Scotty Ray that we have a house phone, but rarely does anybody call us on our house phone unless it's an 800 number or some kind of, So, but there's been a Nunes. It says Nunes. And I don't know if they're making calls announcing this. And then yesterday I got a thing on my phone, a notification about Trump's new social media. So they're really putting the word out there. They're trying to get it out there to everybody.
So Devin Nunes has announced he's leaving and going to work for Trump. Now, as I told her off the cuff, I said, that may not be such a good idea. Some of his closest allies, if they don't toe the line, you're fired.
Yeah.
He don't hold back. You remember the guy that he drove off and left at the airport? He worked for a big high position, and he goes, "You're fired. Get out the limo," and left him standing on the tarmac. Had to catch a ride home. I'm telling you, that man is zero tolerance. If you ain't doing what he thinks, you're gone.
Terry Shelton said, "Look at the situation with Kamala Harris. People are resigning, leaving her staff." I've heard lots of things like there's some bullying going on in her office. There's a lot of she does a lot with the racial stuff. I mean, she's put that out there a lot, racism and stuff. I think people are feeling like they're targeted in a lot of ways. But somebody put a comment, and I did not get to see the comment yesterday, about it was kind of a snide comment they put on Facebook about how they love their wonderful job working for, obviously it was not meant to be that they really love their job, But Jen, who I can't pronounce her last name, went to the defense of Kamala and says she's a wonderful person. There's lots of people that love working for her, except everybody that's quit. That called her out for what she really is. And do you really think the people that are sitting there are going to go, hey, I'd like to speak up so I can lose my job too and be fired? Right.
Yeah.
I can't hardly stand to listen to Jen Psaki when she gets on there, because every question that she is presented with, if it's like a question that's against the administration or something that is, look, there's not a whole lot that's positive right now, but if somebody asks a question like the other day, it was asked, why has Biden not gone to visit the people who were affected by the person who ran through the parade, and ran over all these people in the parade? Well, her answer was that, that takes a lot of work to try to get all the paperwork ready for somebody to go and visit, the area. And he has gotten in touch with them, and our hearts go out to them. And,
You're the president of the United States. That's what those people do that work for him, is they go days in advance,
Yeah.
secure the area so he can go take care of Americans, and he
Right.
should do that. I had somebody post there. I think they wanted to know about your perfume. Are they hinting that maybe you use Bounce for perfume around your neck and stuff? Is that what you do?
No, it's crazy. No, Angela Dunnigan, she was talking about a little way that you can refresh your fabrics and stuff. You can take fabric softener and add a little baking soda in a water spray bottle. Use it to refresh your fabrics and your curtains and beds and rugs.
Are you sure you don't put that on your neck for that little scent of
I'm sure.
jasmine?
Look, if you probably you probably smell my clothes from that glamour wash. I'm telling you, you can smell that stuff from like feet away.
Oh,
But
boy.
I also have used it in my carpet cleaner.
Good. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I have. I put it
The
in my
things that
steam
we
cleaner.
learn from Candace.
Tips from Candace.
There we go. From day to day, we do learn a lot there. So we hope everything's going well this morning. We got more coming up. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heaters, your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our community efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
Rock House Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rock House will have the gun that you need. With a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rock House Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian.
And good morning, Scotty Ray and Candace. Don't forget to drop by and see the guys at the Rock House Trading Post if you need ammo, any good stuff like that.
Yes.
Let's take a stroll back down memory lane and see if we can jog your memory on a few things that might have happened in the past. I remember as a kid, the first time I saw it was black and white, and he always wore those little checkered,
Houndstooth.
yeah, that's what they're called.
Yeah.
Mary Tyler Moore Show. Then he would become just like a staple when it come to comedy. He was born on this date. Who remembers Ted Knight?
I remember him.
He was funny. He really was.
Yeah, and also he was in another show. That's what we were just discussing. I want to say the show was called Too Close for Comfort,
I remember the name.
and it was funny. You know.
Of course,
I
he
remember
was
the woman who was on there with him, but
Too Close for Comfort. I'll have to
it was
Google
a
it.
couple. They
Okay.
were a couple, and I don't remember what all went on, but yeah, it was probably in the 80s, maybe.
And of course, he was in Caddyshack, and who cannot remember him and Rodney Dangerfield? He was the judge that everything had to be, but so cheap in it. Hilarious.
He was funny, though.
And you brought up that
Really
other
funny.
show there, Bosom Buddies.
Oh yeah, that was Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks and the other, and you know he just died.
I
that
did
guy.
see that. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, he passed away. Didn't he have cancer?
He did in his early 60s, I think, and I don't remember the gentleman's name, but it was whoever the other guy was that dressed as a woman on the show.
But that was a funny show too.
Back in the day, we thought that was funny.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
it's gotten to be an everyday norm.
Yeah. Look, I sent. If y'all haven't listened to the,
I don't know.
why
Give me a
can't I
hint.
think?
Because you're tired. You ain't had enough coffee.
If I hadn't. Oh, the Archie Bunker show.
What about him?
Okay, you know the song that he and Edith sung.
Yeah, those were the days.
Yeah, those were the days. I sent. If you really listen to that song, it really plays into the today's thing too.
Where men were men, and that's the only
Girls
one.
were girls.
Men were men.
Right, but I mean, even like other stuff in the song, it's funny.
I had to go back and listen to those words because golly, Edith couldn't sing.
I sent it to some of my friends the other day. It was one of our friends' birthdays. And we were talking about how we couldn't remember, like, or that, it seems like it was just 10 years ago. And I'm like, oh, I know. And I was like, the funny thing, I can't remember what I did yesterday, but I can remember conversations from back in high school.
I'm glad you can because I can't.
So I can. It's so weird. But anyway, I sent him that little thing.
Like that time that woman said, hey, you didn't let my daughter win that talent show contest. And I'm thinking, yeah, I don't know your daughter. Yeah, she didn't like it either.
Don't talk about my mama.
It was 1941 that this day would be remembered forever. Pearl Harbor was unannounced attacked by the Japanese on this date. Sad day, so many Americans lost their lives. And as we say, if you erase history, history will repeat. We cannot do away with things that indicate the things to come. And God rest those souls that were lost on that day.
Oh, yeah.
And
awful.
thereafter, as we entered the war, lots more lives would be lost.
Yeah, it's scary to think that it probably could happen again one day.
And it could.
You know.
Do you remember the song Velvet Chains?
I don't.
Softly Hold Me.
No, I don't remember that.
Gary Morris has a birthday today.
I remember him, though, because he played also as a actor.
He did do a little bit, didn't he?
I don't remember what it was on, but he was an actor.
But he sure could sing. I want to say Gary Morris came to Meridian years upon years ago, if I remember correctly. I'd have to check with Van Mack, my official historian, to get all of that. We all watched Three's Company. Now, after Chrissy left, you really had to pay attention because they brought in 2 more blondes, and you have to really focus to catch it. But this young girl was also on there, Priscilla Barnes. You remember her?
I do. Was her name Janice on the show? I know there was a Janet.
Janet.
But I can't remember what her name was.
I had it.
But she was funny.
Yeah, I
really
had
was
it, and it
funny.
went away just that quick of what her name was.
I can't remember. But yeah.
She was the nurse on there.
Uh-huh.
So
But she was funny.
she has a birthday today. We hope she's doing well somewhere. And she looks absolutely, when I say absolutely nothing like those pictures in today's
really?
world. Yeah, you wouldn't even know her. You could be standing next to her at TGNY and you wouldn't know it.
So she was born in
Terry
55.
was the name.
Okay, Terry. All right. That's right.
Yeah,
Why
55.
I said Janice.
Yes, Janice on your mind, I guess.
I guess
Did
they
you have
wouldn't
a
have
dream?
a Janet and a Janice.
Did you have a dream about a Janice last night?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I just have to check. I don't know much about basketball. I truly don't. I don't watch it. But as a kid, you couldn't help but know this guy's name because he was everywhere. He was like Santa Claus. He's everywhere. 1956, Larry Bird was born. Remember him?
I do remember him.
Is he?
I wasn't a big basketball fan, but I do remember him.
And I don't know if his records are still held or if that's been broken by others that's come after him. But he was like big time stuff back in the day for the Celtics. So there you go. I just wanted to remind you of him.
Were you a big basketball fan?
No, absolutely not. I was really bad at horse, and so I never wanted to watch superstars do it.
I wasn't a real big sports fan. I mean, I cheered in high school, but I don't like watching stuff. The only thing I really liked watching on television was gymnastics.
Yeah, after I got hit upside the head with the ball, the pop fly out in center field. No, it was left field. Yeah, I didn't really care for Little League after that anymore. It was like, that thing will knock you out. I remember it well.
A lot of kids are like that. They get hit with the ball, they're done. They're done.
I was like the worst. I'd be that kid that would be picked last because I was so bad. Like, I didn't even get Red Rovered, I don't think.
Well, it's because you were meant for this, Scotty Ray.
I sure wasn't meant for that. 1967, a guy would walk into a recording studio, record a song. He would be killed in an airplane crash 3 days later. From that last song would be the biggest of his career. You still know it today.
Oh, yeah.
It's played often and often and often. And we're talking about sitting on the dock of the bay.
Watching the time roll.
And it
Tide
was a
roll away.
good song. Otis Redding.
Tide and the time roll away.
Plane crashes have taken so many of the
has.
greats, especially in music.
It has. I mean, you don't hear as much nowadays about it as you did back then. But back a long time ago, you did. But
Ron just asked me if I was standing in TGNY. Toys, Guns, and Yo-Yos, if you're wondering what that stands for. Anybody remember that?
now I remember TG&Y, the store.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, I remember TG&Y.
That would have taken
College
the place of Roses back in the day. And I think Roses may have come back, but when I was a little bitty boy, it was Roses, then TG&Y came in and took over. And as a kid, I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah. You remember Woolsworth and the Old Mall?
Oh, yeah, because I remember that they got chunked out of it. And what was the movie there that was made in Mississippi where they got banned from all Woolworths?
Oh, really?
In the state of Mississippi. Oh.
I don't know, but I remember wanting a
Man of
doll in
Constant
there, throwing
Sorrow
a fit
movie.
when I was young. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that movie. What is it?
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah. We done been banned from all the Woolworths. I don't care who you are, that's funny.
Yeah, I remember wanting a doll when
Did
I was
you
in
get
there.
it?
No, I did not.
What
Devastated. I was devastated.
Leslie Joyner, thank you for putting that. I do appreciate you. It's so bad when something is on the tip of your tongue, and no matter what you do, you can't make your brain say it.
Maybe I did get it. I can't remember if I got the doll. I was devastated, though, thinking I wasn't going to get it. But, yeah, I was with a friend of my mother's and had gone down there, and I think I threw the biggest fit. She'll talk about it to this day. I remember when we took you to Woolworth.
It was a moment that has stood in time.
Yeah, anyway.
1974, you woke up, and this was the #1 song across America, and also another song that it. I don't think I've ever seen a picture of this gentleman until yesterday when I was doing my research, and I thought, wow. Everybody was kung fu fighting on this day back in 74. You know the words.
Oh, yeah.
Those cats were fast as lightning.
Yeah.
So there you go. You know it. Even if you were a country music fan and that's all you listened to, you would have heard that in a store somewhere. I think they even use that as elevator music in Meridian. We don't have the typical elevator music around here because we only got one elevator. Or we did.
Yeah.
1991, what was the #1 song? I'll let you guess here.
For my broken heart.
Reba. She had it going on.
Like that. I have one.
You had one?
Yeah. Mine probably didn't cost as much as hers.
Oh, Reba. Let's see. 2008 was a big day for George Jones as we look at what happened on this day. The John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts honored George for his lifetime contributions. That's a pretty big deal for George there. And, of course, he was the original bad boy of country music, the outlaw movement there, along with Waylon and all the others that made it. 2011, you grew up with this guy. It is still, if I am not mistaken, the most watched television show in history of the final episode. If I'm not mistaken, it's tied everything and ever broken it. Who remembers Colonel Potter? Harry Morgan passed away on this date back in 2011.
That's right.
And
MASH.
What was because the guy that was the colonel before him had a lot better sense of humor. He wasn't on there as long. It was a guy that was on there before him as the colonel.
Oh, I don't know who that would have been because
And I can see his face, and he left, and then this character came on there.
Because I was just a kid when,
MeTV plays that every single day of your life.
I know, but look, I'm usually at work.
Can't
Scotty
help
Ray.
but like it. Lots more.
I get to watch.
There it is.
I get to watch TV like late at night.
I
usually.
ain't never getting into an argument with Leslie Joyner because she knows everything. We need to send you to that Jeopardy thing there because Colonel Blake was his name.
Okay.
McLean Stevens is his actual name. He was funny. I really like that. And then after you grow up and then you realize that Alan Alda completely doesn't think the way you do politically, don't read into people's personal lives if you like a TV show.
It'll ruin it. It'll ruin the whole. Yeah. I would rather not know what people, in their personal life think about things.
Because it does. It really shakes you to the core and you go, I can't watch them no more. Yeah. They don't think the same way I do. Just in case.
Yeah, it messes up my whole childhood memories.
The precast group, they're there for you when it comes to bad weather. And, it does happen. We're right in the middle of the second season of tornadic activity in the states, here in the Deep South. They're there for you. They build these every single day, and they have exactly what you need for your security and comfort and peace of mind when it comes to, when bad weather arrives. Right out on Highway 145 South, 482-0003. It's a short call. They can tell you more about this. They can install them as you're building your home. They'll put these in your backyard. However you want to do this, you can design it on the inside, whatever you want to put in there. See them. It is all there at the precast group. Underground, that's comfort there. Put it outside your back door. However you want to do it, talk to Michael and the gang. They'll help you. The Precast Group. See them today in Meridian. Again, that number is 482-0003.
And education is the only tool that you can use to improve your world and make dreams a reality. The better the education, the better the life. The teachers are the instrument to help our future generations fulfill their dreams for a better life. That is why Richard Schwartz and Associates is proud to recognize and celebrate our teachers with the Golden Apple Awards. To the dedicated commitment of our teachers, our children will have the opportunity to live in a much better world. Show them how much you care. Take the time to nominate a teacher today.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. Are you up to date with this Chris Como thing and everything that's going on with him?
I saw where they let him, they fired him on Saturday, right?
Yes, he's gone. In headlines in America used to never, and I'm not going to say any of this, but I've noticed the last 5 or 6 stories to grab your attention, they're using, and they'll put dots with ugly words in the headlines. I don't know why, but that is becoming a thing across America now. Yeah. But Joe Rogan has really ripped into him. And, of course, that goes back to them accusing him of the horse medicine.
Right, the
when he was
ivermectin thing.
He was using it from a hospital, which was prescribed, and CNN just completely ignored it.
Well, anything, I mean, they try to turn everything around anyway. It just seems like to be for the bad instead of for the good,
As we keep seeing headlines with this, they could be sued. 7-figure lawsuits are probably in the works against CNN over this. Now, here's a new charge. I don't know where this could go, but it is a headline this morning. The Jussie Smollett, the guy that faked being beat up by the two black guys, the Nigerians, he was getting text from Don Lemon, who is also on there. Was he giving advice? I'm sure that an investigation goes. Could they stand to lose their two top anchors? Of course, Chris was their number one, and I think Don is the number two on their network.
Well,
did he break the law with what he done? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. It was a lot of stuff yesterday I was listening to. The Jussie Smollett, when he was on the stand, he claimed that he had a...
yeah, let me see you explain this one. How you say
relationship.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, an encounter. I'm going to put it like that. With one of the guys that he alleged, that he jumped him. Also, that he had also bought drugs from him, that the guy was a drug dealer. The guy said, no, I'm not a drug dealer. But I wasn't even aware that the guy, liked the same, sex. I wasn't aware that he wasn't. But I know the Don Lemon guy is
He's got a husband, I think.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. Is there, who knows? What kind
May
of
have been giving
connection?
advice, and that is what
Maybe they're friends. I don't
read
know.
to Chris doing that with his brother, giving advice, and he said he wasn't, and they all denied it.
CNN knows probably a lot more than what they say they know.
All of them do.
And they just keep it under wraps and let things slide. And, I think they should be held accountable for that.
We'll see.
So
Here's another headline this morning, and always watch your kids. And, of course, this turned out to be a cop in behind the scenes, and you hear about it every day. But a PlayStation executive, 64 years old, was having texts back and forth with a 15-year-old. Turned out to be a 15-year-old boy that he invited over for, well, y'all finished the headline on that.
Yeah.
He has promptly been arrested, and he's been fired.
sickos in this world.
That's disturbing there.
Yeah.
Penn State kind of upset here. They're upset up in Pennsylvania. Is a guy, swimmer, 2 months ago, went as a man, now entered as a woman, has beat everybody by 38 seconds in the race because now he's a woman.
I think that is totally wrong. I think they should not be able to compete in a woman's sport. I mean, I just don't think they should. It's not even an equal. It's not.
Y'all know my thoughts on this. There's just no other way around it. America, use your thinking caps is what I've got to say.
If you want to dress as a woman and you're a man, you still should compete with the men. I mean,
I
you
agree.
look out of place, oh well,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just the way I feel about it.
I agree. Do you remember we brought up the executive, the music legend in Beverly Hills where his house was robbed and his wife was murdered?
Yes.
They have caught the person that murdered his wife. I think she was 81 years old. The guy's 29 years old, and the way he got caught was he accidentally shot himself in the foot and had to go to the hospital. He's in the jailhouse now. Condolences to the family of this. There was no need for loss of life for robbing someone's house to feel the need to take someone's life over worldly
People
possessions.
have absolutely no regard for human life.
They
anymore,
don't.
or anything. Kill people and it doesn't even faze them. Just going about their business.
There's
evil.
And I say this, and if you feel the need that God places it on your heart to go to other countries to be a missionary to help others, more power to you. But use caution when doing this. As we look at Haiti, do you remember when was it a few months back? They all got kidnapped. As of this morning, 3 have been freed. There are still 12 that are held captive by gangs there. Sad situation there, but at least 3 have gotten out.
Yeah.
Do people ever get out of those? I remember watching that movie years ago, Proof of Life.
I know people who have gone there and been missionaries. I mean, I know people who go there. And there's church groups that go, together, and young teenagers and everything, they go and help out. I think it's a great cause. And I think it's really good that they do, but it is scary.
Yep.
When you
Be on
leave
your
our
P's and
country
Q's.
and you leave our laws and our different things, and you enter into someone else's country that they have totally different laws and totally different, I don't even know what you'd call it.
Standards.
Yeah, standards.
To that degree. What's the
Scary.
longest you ever kept a secret from someone? 10 minutes? Would that be about your tops there?
I don't know. I don't know that I'd be a good secret keeper.
We go to a headline in Fox News this morning. And this is pretty neat, but you got to have money to do what he done, even to have done this. But a guy in Britain has built the largest train station, train set in the world. It's the biggest. He rented a building, didn't tell her, and during the pandemic, went over and done this every day. And here's a picture of the guy from Fox News. And that's his train thing there. It's the largest. It's in a building in the basement of it.
That is so neat, though. I bet Scotty Ray and Angie have the largest Christmas village in the United States.
She got a bunch.
I'm serious. It is huge.
And it has yet to be displayed, so we can't show pictures. It has not been completed.
But I don't even care if it's not Christmas anymore. When she gets it done, we need to show it.
And every day she digs more Christmas stuff out. I'm convinced up until Christmas Day she's going to be hanging stuff. And then have to figure out how to take it all down in a day. But this has been ongoing for the last 3 weeks. Every day. I'm not kidding y'all.
Well, I finally got my Christmas tree decorations on yesterday. I didn't think I'd ever get them on, but
You got it?
I did. It's done.
So for the...
And I'm not putting anything. Well, I do have one more little tree. I've got to put a few things on.
It's always that. Well, it's like that. What was that old boy that told that story of there to where he had quit drinking? He went down to Alabama and signed up for it there. Except when I'm in church. Okay, that was funny. If y'all hadn't seen it, y'all need to really look that up.
To watch that to get the full effect.
Oh, have mercy. As we begin this day, as we head toward the holidays, and we've got Christmas, we've got New Year's, make sure to have your stuff cleaned. And whether it's a business or a home, make sure to get on the list to have your place looking the absolute best for all the holidays that are coming. Godwin Cleaning Services is there for you. 253-8262 is their Meridian office. They handle residential and commercial. And they do a whole lot of commercial work as well there. And again, get it cleaned up. This is an example of the brick and the rust that can happen to your home. Maybe you got vinyl siding there on your business or your home. Whatever the case is, they can get rid of that old rust color that's tarnished the look of your building. Restore it to the way it used to look.
It'll look brand new.
Yeah. As we look at the metal buildings, fantastic looking right after it there. Look at this. Asphalt roofs, slate roofs, shingle roofs, all of that put back to the way it used to look. Now, they'll do this for businesses as well. Sidewalks look new again. Nothing like it. Even rock. They can clean that to make it look great. Whether it's a carport, whether it's the driveway into your business, or a whole entire parking lot, they can do that. Godwin Cleaning Services, make yourself look great. With your business, your home, soft washing, low pressure, it's all there. 253-8262 is the number to call to get your place looking to the absolute very best.
I'm Janet from Jackson, Mississippi, and it took one call, that was all. I called my Mississippi attorney, Richard Schwartz. He got me $377,250.
If you need me, Mississippi, remember, one call, that's all.
Did we mention yesterday about the store in Massachusetts that's opened up that carries everything all Let's Go Brandon?
No.
In Massachusetts, you would think that wouldn't be a huge Trump town, but apparently there's more people there than you realize that are Trump fans. But they've opened up a store that just about everything in it, T-shirts and galore, ball caps with Let's Go Brandon on it.
Okay.
I hadn't heard of any protests there yet. There might be before it's all said and done.
Yeah, I'm surprised they hadn't shut them down.
They're doing quite well there. Let's see here. COVID-laced gum. How do you stop it? They're saying that there's a gum out there that's laced with the plant protein in it that could reduce COVID by 95%. It's in the early stages of that, but they say it exists. We'll watch that. 17 states now have this new COVID, which
Omicron.
is Omicron. I can never say it correctly.
I think it's been found, hasn't it not been found in our state?
It has been. Mississippi got the first case yesterday. Fauci says, well, maybe it's not as bad as we thought it was in the beginning, and that they're looking at doing away with the ban on South Africa. Not sure I would do that just yet, but that is a headline that they're talking about out of Washington this morning. I just don't trust anything the man says.
I don't either.
Oregon, what are they doing? They're trying to put a permanent mask mandate in for anything indoors. Do y'all agree with that?
I don't.
I think that's overreacting there.
Well, I think it's, this is probably what I was fixing to mention. The New York mayor.
Yeah.
It's now put into effect that like even 5 to 11-year-olds have to be fully vaccinated to come into a business, a restaurant, anything.
Or a concert or anything like. They're not happy with him in New York.
And they're making people be fully vaccinated, not just have one shot. They want them to have the 2 shots.
Yeah. So those are the headlines that are dealing with that right now. Now, this next thing, I'm not sure that this really works, but they say if you would like to drop, the scientists are saying this, Alzheimer's, if you've got it up to 69%, this will stop this. This may cause other problems for Americans, but they say if you take a Viagra a day, that it'll make Alzheimer's better. I'm going to just leave that right there.
That's odd.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there you go there. Prince Harry says, hey, quit your job. It'll make you feel better about yourself and make your mental health better. The internet is filled with, have you ever had a job to quit?
Yeah. It's probably easy for Prince Harry to say, quit your job.
Oh, sure, you've had to go do dress rehearsals and stand at attention and do things like that.
People go buy your groceries for you.
Yeah.
Pay for them for you.
He doesn't know what the real world is like.
Yeah, that's what I said the other day about these people who stand up on their pedestal and tell everybody, oh, inflation. I heard that said the other day, a little inflation is not going to hurt people right now. What? Who are you to say that? I mean, when people are hurting all across our nation, they're struggling to make ends meet. I mean, I went to the grocery store the other day, spent $171, and I literally could have fit every bag into a hula hoop circle.
Thanks
Seriously.
to Joe. Brought to you by Joe.
I mean, it's crazy.
It is a Joe Christmas. Trump even had to say this, and I don't have it in front of me. I got it somewhere. Here it is right here, if I'm not mistaken. Joe stole Christmas is the headline that we're getting from Trump this morning. He says it's all his fault. We still have 100 ships off the coast in L.A. that have not been unloaded. 100 of them anchored there. That's a mess. People
are still quitting their jobs over this COVID vaccine. Companies are still pushing it. Now, I heard the other day, now in New York, the private sector businesses, like private-owned businesses, now they're being pushed to be fully vaccinated. I don't know how they can do that, but they're doing it. The only thing I can think is that they'll withhold, like, business license. They'll withhold stuff like, that they need to operate. I think it's wrong. I just think it's wrong. And I think that people should be held liable if something happens to someone. I mean, that's just what I feel.
Denise, I ain't going to repeat what you just said on that. But it's funny. I'll give you credit for that. Let's see here.
Stay alert.
Houston, Texas, and I think most people, as we close, will bring up this story here, have heard about this by now. I've looked over it several times. Joel Osteen, the preacher with the big teeth. You can't miss him. Everybody knows his teeth.
He looks like he's sleeping.
Got into all that trouble at time to where they claimed he wouldn't let people in the church. Well, he did, and they wrecked his church. And that's most likely why they didn't open the doors automatically. They destroyed the church. It was a mess after it. But they got robbed a few years ago of $600,000. The plumber shows up to unstop something, has to cut the wall, and lo and behold, there's the money that was stolen, $600,000 in the wall of the church. It's an inside job, without a doubt. Apparently, whoever did this took the money, was going to come back and get it years later, maybe. But it's been several years since it happened. I don't know everything that went on with this, but $600,000 found in the wall there of the church that was stolen.
Goodness.
Does make you go, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Let's see, last night, Quitman had their parade. Also, the parade went down in, where were we at? In Philadelphia also last night. So a lot going on in those communities. I wanted to quickly mention about the Bell South books before we get out. This is going to be going on starting tomorrow from 8:30 until 4:30.
That's right. December the 8th through the 10th. The cookbooks, they're going to be on sale outside the AT&T building, which is on 7th Street, and it's across from City Hall.
Yeah. So if you can support them and you want one of these, go by and do that. That was brought up to us several times.
Great cookbooks, great Christmas presents,
Yeah.
Lots of good stuff in there.
So you're going back to check on the sick now, make sure everybody's good.
I'm going to take him to the doctor. We're going to find out what's going on with him. So
we do hope your son gets better there. And thank y'all for joining us.
Yes, thank y'all. We enjoy every day with you and all the comments, and can't wait to see you again tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be here. I might, have to be home.
Post us. Let us know.
We'll see. Hopefully, I'll be back 8 a.m. tomorrow morning.
All right. It's all going to happen that way again today. Carry your jacket wherever you're going. Only 49 for our high. It'll get warmer, 80 by Friday, but today is not the case, and we do have a 50% chance of getting wet. So break out that old wrap around your head and umbrella and carry it with you today. Be careful.
Yes, be extra careful.
Thank y'all so much. We'll see you tomorrow.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by